students, I am glad to see you. Today we have an unusual lesson. We must demonstrate our knowledge and skills. I think you will do it in a friendly way. I hope it will be useful for all of us. Let's start our conversation. Who helps me study and translate, and with my friends communicate. Who always is my own tutor. It is my computer. Right, you are. I always know what to see on my dear smart PC. So, as you have guessed, the topic of our lesson is computers in our life. What do you think we are going to speak about today? Kate.
Advantages and disadvantages of using a computer.
Good. What else, Valera?
About the internet.
About the internet. Good.
About creation of computers.
Creation of computers, Mary?
Computers and its components.
Right, you are. So now let's see. Today we are going to speak about the following questions. What is a computer and why do we use it? What are advantages and disadvantages of using a computer? And what is the role of computers in everyday life? But first let's answer my questions. Have you got a computer? Nikit, have you got a computer?
Yes, I have.
Good. Ruslan, have you got a computer?
Yes, I have.
So, can you operate a computer? Ksyusha? Valer, you can operate a computer too, can't you?
Yes, I can.
Yes, I can. Good. And the next question, how often do you use your computer? How often? Andrew?
I use a computer every day.
Every day. Good. And the next question, so not exactly what, but how many hours do you spend operating your computer? Julia, how?
I spent 5 hours.
5 hours, good. And the last question, what do you do operating the computer? What do you do, Valera?
I play games.
Play games, good. Ksyusha? Read book.
I listen to music.
Listen to music, Mary?
I watch films.
Watch films. So now I see that all of us are active computer users and we go on working. So, but first let's revise our active vocabulary. So here you see 2 columns. So now let's read these words and translate them. So Sergey will read the first column and Marina will translate. So let's start.
A computer.
Компьютер.
A personal computer.
Персональный компьютер.
Computer industry.
Компьютерная промышленность.
A keyboard.
Клавиатура.
A microphone.
Микрофон.
A device.
Устройство.
Input hardware.
Устройство ввода данных.
Output hardware.
Устройство отображения информации.
Storage hardware.
Устройство хранения данных.
Processing hardware.
Устройство обработки данных.
So good, thank you very much, Serёж. Mind the pronunciation. Hardware. Repeat this word. Hardware.
Hardware.
Good. And the next column is Andrew will read and Mary will translate. Let's start.
Information technology.
Информационные технологии.
To sort the internet.
Искать информацию в интернете.
To operate.
Управлять.
To have an access to the internet.
Иметь доступ к интернету.
To use the network.
Использовать социальные сети.
To send email messages.
Отправлять сообщения по электронной почте.
To process information.
Обрабатывать информацию.
And to save time.
Экономить время.
So good. Now we are going to work in small groups. So each group will have a different task. So the group number 1 divides these words into 4 columns. Input hardware, output hardware, storage hardware, and processing hardware. So you will do the first task. So group number 2 will match the words with their meanings. And group number 3 will divide the sentences into 2 groups, arguments for and arguments against. So now you have 3 minutes to do this task. So you have 3 minutes to do this task. So please. Are you ready? So now let's check. So the first task, so group number 1. You should divide these words into 4 groups or into 4 columns. So the first column, input hardware, Nikita.
Keyboard, mouse, scanner, microphone, web camera.
Web camera, good. The next column, output hardware, Julia.
Printer, monitor and modem.
And modem, good. Tanya, storage hardware.
Hard disk, floppy disk, still.
Good. And the last column, Serёж.
Central processing unit и memory.
And memory, so good. The next task, matching. So, what is a computer? Kсюша?
Computer is a device for processing information.
Information, good. Software? Ruslan?
Software are programs that tell the hardware how to perform the task.
How to perform the task, good. Hardware, Denis?
Hardware the device for composing a computer system.
Mind, R. Hardware, R. Device, okay. Operating system, Kate?
Operating system is a set of programs that controls why a computer works and runs our programs.
Other programs. Internet, Kсюша?
The internet is a global system of interconnected computer networks.
Good. And the last word, workstation, Denis.
So, workstation is a place in an office where a person works, especially with a computer.
So good. And the next task for group number 3. So divide the arguments into 2 groups, argument for and arguments against. Arguments for. Marine, read the first argument.
It helps in doing homework.
Good. The next argument, Andrew.
It saves time in information search.
Good. Valera.
You can study online.
And Mary.
We can keep our work made by us in the digital form and change it.
And change it. Is that all?
Yes.
Yes, good. And now arguments against. Marina.
People are getting too dependent on computers.
Marina, mind the pronunciation. People are getting. And the next argument, Andrew.
You forget about time when you play games.
So, what else, Mary?
Many people become nervous when they play violent games on a computer.
And Valera?
Computers replace seeing your friends.
Computers replace seeing their new friends. Right. So, thank you for your work. And now we are going to listen to the students of your group and of your college speaking about computer and computer technologies. So, after listening, you will have different tasks. So, at your papers, you'll see the task number 1. So, you should, while listening, you should tick the statements that are true. Is it clear? So, now you have 1 minute to look through these sentences. Read it yourselves. Are you ready to listen to it?
Hello, I'm Kate. I was always good in physics and information technology. My parents bought me a computer when I was in the 5th form. Since when I knew that I could become a specialist in computer technology. Computer industry is developing so fast that it comprises almost all spheres of professional life. No business now is possible without computers.
Speaker number 2.
My name is Andy. Email is a great invention too. It's the most popular internet service. Most of the people who have access to the internet use the network only for sending and receiving email messages. It's faster than sending a letter and cheaper than sending a telegram. You can send email to someone you have never met before. Some people have met over the internet.
And now speaker number 3.
My name is Tanya. I have a computer at home. I can use and operate it quite well. Computers save a lot of time. It's much faster and easier to surf the internet than to go to the library. They do a lot of work for us, but you shouldn't spend too much time at your computer. It's bad for your eyesight, for example. Chatting in the internet with friends is not the same as a face-to-face talk.
So now you have 1 minute to tick the statements. Please do it. Tick the statements that are true. So, and now let's check your answers. So, now you read only the sentences that are true. So, the first sentence, Andrew?
Computers save a lot of time.
A lot of time, good. Mary?
Computer industry comprises of the rest of our life.
Of our life, Ksyusha?
Some people have met over the internet.
What else, Valera?
No business now is possible without computers.
Without computers, Tanya?
Email is the most popular internet service.
Internet service. What else, Julia?
You shouldn't spend too much time at your computer because it is bad for your eyesight.
So, thank you very much. You have done it very well. And now the next exercise. You should write the names of members of Turkey. So, who said that? You will listen to it one more time.
Hello, I'm Kate. I was always good in physics and information technology. My parents bought me a computer when I was in the 5th form. Since when I knew that I could become a specialist in computer technology. Computer industry is developing so fast that it comprises almost all spheres of professional life. No business now is possible without computers.
My name is Andy. Email is a great invention too. It's the most popular internet service. Most of the people who have access to the internet use the network only for sending and receiving email messages. It's faster than sending a letter and cheaper than sending a telegram. You can send email to someone you have never met before. Some people have met over the internet.
My name is Tanya. I have a computer at home. I can use and operate it quite well. Computers save a lot of time. It's much faster and easier to surf the internet than to go to the library. They do a lot of work for us, but you shouldn't spend too much time at your computer. It's bad for your eyesight, for example. Chatting in the internet with friends is not the same as a face-to-face talk.
Now please write the names. So check it, please. And then, so just 1 minute to check, and we will check it together. Are you ready?
Yes.
So, the first sentence, so you should say, Kate or Andrew or Tanya said that, and add what they said. So, the first sentence, Ksyusha?
Kate said that there was always good in physics and informatics.
And informatics, okay, what else? The next sentence, Julia.
Tanya said that was much faster and easier to surf the internet than go to the library.
You'll mind the pronunciation, library.
Library.
Library, good. The next sentence, Mary.
Tanya said that chatting in the internet wasn't the same as a face-to-face talk.
Talk. Tanya, the next.
Kate said that computer industry was developing very fast.
Very fast, good. Kate.
Andrew said that email was a great invention too.
So was. In the relative clauses, we should use the past simple tense. Was, email was a great invention too. And the last sentence, Denis.
Andrew said that most of the people used the internet only for sending and receiving email messages.
So, and the next task, you should say who do you agree with and who do you disagree with. So, we use phrases I agree with, I think that, and I disagree with, and I don't think that. So, first your agreement. Who do you agree with, Valera?
I agree with Kate. I think that computer industry is developing very fast.
Right. The next. Who's the next? Andrew?
I agree with Tanya. I think it's much faster and easier to surf the internet than go to the library.
Then, right, Ruslan?
I agree with Andrew. I think that email is a great invention.
Okay, thank you very much for your answers. And now, disagreement. Nikita?
I disagree with Tanya. I don't think that said that cheating in the internet is not the same as a face-to-face talk.
Mind the pronunciation, as. And who else? Mary?
I disagree with Andrew. I don't think most of the people use the internet only for sending and receiving email messages. But they also use it for watching films, listening to music, and playing games.
And playing games. So good. So, thank you for your work, for this doing this task. And now you will do the following task. At home you have prepared different projects. So, but before presenting our project, please say to me, what associations do you have when you hear the word computer? Valera?
Internet.
Internet, okay, what else?
Mouse.
Mouse.
Keyboard.
Keyboard, what else? Kate? Printer. Is it all?
Yes.
Yes, it is. So, thank you. Each group has prepared different projects. So, group number 1 has prepared project creation of computers. So, who will present your project?
I will.
I will. So,
The topic of our project is creation of computers. father of all present-day computers was designed by Charles Babbage in 1834. It was to make long calculations and analyze them. Babbage's huge computer machine was to have been programmed from a punch paper type. The calculations were to be made by means of housing, of rotating gear wheels and moving levels and rods. So Clive Sinclair did not invent the home computer, but he brought it within the cheapest possible machine. The ZX80 had an internal memory of just 1 kilobyte. In 1946, two engineers at the University of Pennsylvania, J. Eckert and J. Moseley, built the digital computers with vacuum tubes. They named the new invention ENIAC. The first Soviet computer, a small-size computing machine, MESM, was tested in 1950 under Dmitry Lebedev. Next year, it was put into operation. Serial production of computers in the USA has been started since 1953. Z.E. Basilevsky headed the design and manufacture of computers Strela. Starting with 1964, semiconductor computers, Ural and BSM-4 were produced. IBM launched the PC in 1981. The basic PC had just 64 kilobytes of the RAM. The first PC had one floppy disk drive. Nowadays, computers are significantly improved. Modern personal computers are compact and possess in 1,000 times big speed in comparison with the first personal computers. Thank you for attention.
So thank you, and thank you the group number 1. So group number 2 has prepared a project concerning the history of the internet. So who will present your project?
I will.
So please.
The topic of our project is from history of the internet. The history of the internet began with the development of electronic computers in the 1950s. This began with point-to-point communication between mainframe computers and terminals, expanded to point-to-point connection between computers and the early research into packet switching. Packet switch network ARPANET was developed in the late 1960s and early 1970s using a variety of protocols. The ARPANET in particular led to the development of protocols where internet working where multiple separate networks could be joined together into a network or networks. In 1973, the Defense Advanced Research Project Agency initiated a research program to investigate techniques and technologies for interlinking packet networks of various kinds. The objective was to develop communication protocols which would allow networked computers to communicate transparently across multiple linked packet networks. This was called the Interneting Project, and the system of networks which emerged from the research was known as the Internet. The design of the Internet was done in 1973 and published in 1974. We ensured about 10 years of hard work, resulting in the rollout of Internet in 1983. The Internet has already entered our ordinary life. Everybody knows what the Internet is: a global computer network which embraces hundreds of millions of users all over the world and help us to communicate with each other. Thank you for your attention.
So thank you, group number 2. Sit down, please. So thank you, group number 2, for your project. And the third group has made a project about social networks. So who will present your project?
I will.
So Valeria, please.
The topic of my project is social networks. Social networks is a place where individuals create a rich profile of who they are and build a network of who they know. Social networks were spread before the appearance of the internet. The term social networks was introduced in 1954 by James Barnes. The first social network on the internet appeared in 1995. It was the American portal classmates.com. This project was very successful. But the official appearance of social networks is considered in 2003 and 2004. The first resources such as LinkedIn, MySpace and Facebook were created in those years. Analogies of the services appeared also in Russia. The Russian analog of Facebook is Kontakte and of classmates.com is Одноклассники.ru. MySpace.com is one of the most popular social networks in the world, but not amongst the Russian-speaking internet users. Facebook is a website of social network. It was founded in 2004 as a site for communication of students of Harvard University. Mark Zuckerberg is its founder, who became the youngest paper billionaire in 23 years old. Kontakte.ru is the most popular website in Russia. It has the Google, Yandex, and Mail.ru behind. It has had a huge database of media content. And the Одноклассники.ru was originally created to find and communicate with classmates, but now it has acquired additional functions and features. Especially networks have changed our life. The social network, especially with their appearance of the internet, they are considered to be the basics of modern civilization. The users of social networks are able to keep up with the latest news due to the availability of information sent in real time from the census and events. They provide us with a great potential for the development of relations, linked with the people having access to different forms of entertainment. Thank you for your attention.
So, Valeria, mind the pronunciation, scenes of events.
Scenes of events.
So, thank you very much, sit down. So, now you will do the test. So, you have listened to these projects very attentively, and now you will do this task. So, please sign your name and surname. So, you have 10 minutes to do this task. So, you can circle the right answer, circle, or just to write it in a table. Please don't forget to write your names. Please write your name. 3 minutes are left. You have 3 minutes. Please check it one more time. Yes. So now please hand in your papers. So I will check it and give your mark and give marks for this work. So, and now we go on working, and now your home task. So at home you are to write a composition, Computer in My Life. So you should write about advantages and disadvantages of using a computer, the role of the computer in your life. So please do it on a separate sheet of paper. So, and now let's sum it up what we have done today at our lesson. So, and we are going to do it in a form of a cinquain. So, cinquain consists of 5 lines, and here you see the rules of writing a cinquain. So, the first line is the topic and one word. Usually it's a noun. The second line is the description of the topic in 2 words. Usually there are 2 adjectives. The third line is the description of the action, 3 verbs. The fourth line, the phrase, 4 or 5 words that describe our topic. And the fifth line, your association, the synonym of the topic. So now let's write a cinquain. So who will, Ksusha, please. So, and you will help her. So, the first line, the topic in one word, what, Valet?
Computer.
Computer, right. So, Ksusha, please write computer. So, number 2, the second line, the description of the topic in 2 words, 2 adjectives. How can we characterize computer? Tanya, please.
Fast.
Fast. Good. Fast. What else needed?
Useful.
Useful, right. Useful. So the third line, the description of the action, 3 verbs. For example, what can computers do, Mary?
To serve.
To serve. Or what can we do by means of computers? To serve. Mind F. Serve.
To store.
To store, good. To store. And what else?
To operate.
To operate. To operate. Operate. Letter E. not I, good. The fourth line, the phrase, 4 or 5 words. Denis?
A device for processing information.
A device for processing information. And the fifth line, your association, Mary.
Invention.
Invention. Invention. Thank you very much. Sit down, please. And now let's complete the sentences. Today I have learned.
Today I have learned about the history of the internet.
Of the internet, good. The next sentence. It was interesting to.
It was interesting to know it first computers made calculation by means of thousands of rotating gear wheels and moving levels and rods.
So Nikit, only it was interesting to know that. It was difficult to. Ksyusha?
It was difficult to remember all the dates when different computers were invented.
Good. Now I can. Serёж.
Now I can speak about computer technologies using professional terms.
Very good. I have managed to, Denis.
I have managed to do difficult tasks successfully.
Successfully, good. And the last sentence, I'd like to
upgrade my computer.
My computer. So students, thank you very much for your work today. You have been very active, and we have managed to do different tasks successfully. So your marks will be Ruslan, Ksyusha, Andrew, Valera, and Nikita. I give you 5, and all the rest get 4. So the lesson is over. Goodbye.
Goodbye.